Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live in Hong Kong from SmartCon 2024 by Chainlink. Joining me for this segment, we have Joe Sticco. He's co-founder of Cryptex. We're here to discuss decentralized indexes and how Cryptex is working to develop them. It is great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you got it. So explain to us, where does Cryptex sit within the blockchain ecosystem?
So Cryptex is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, that is focused on building fully decentralized indexes, markets, and other types of utilities for the DeFi sector. So we operate on multiple L2 networks like Arbitrum and Base, and we utilize Chainlink data feeds and price streams to power the indexes that we create.
So how does Cryptex use Chainlink data streams on Arbitrum, and what benefits does that provide to users?
Oh, so many. So basically, like the data streams, essentially, there's over 90 now. And they're essentially getting to a point where they want to have, 150, 250. And the beautiful thing about the streams is that the latency has come down significantly to where we're looking at 250 milliseconds essentially per update. And that essentially matches the block time on different like L2 networks. So now, if I have different types of different types of data feeds, I could aggregate them collectively and build indexes, right?
Right.
And when you look at the index markets in crypto, it's only $70 billion. When you look at it globally, it's 15.3 trillion.
Right.
So it's like the demand for real world assets and tokenization is huge, but there's this whole missing piece of indexes. So what we're trying to do is things like total crypto market cap, where it's essentially the S&P 500 of crypto.
I was just going to ask you that, like if taking a step back here for a moment, decentralized indexes, so of course NASDAQ, the NASDAQ 100, you just mentioned S&P 500.
Absolutely.
Every methodology is different with the indexes, but is it something similar to that? You're looking at the different thematics and building indexes around that?
Yes, so for an example like TCAP, where you have the NASDAQ 100, it's very difficult currently to build something where it's every single project in a single solution.
Right.
Because on a traditional basis, you'd have these firms acquiring all these different stocks, right? And they could hold a basket of them. They're all publicly traded, it's easy to do. In crypto, we have to operate a little bit differently. So we have to get price feeds from Chainlink that verify total crypto market cap, and then we have to aggregate that data to reflect what the nominalized version of it is. So if you have a fully collateralized, asset like TCAP, the total crypto market cap's, let's say 2.6 trillion, you create a nominalized version of that of $260. The nominalized moves in lockstep to the total, and now you essentially have a synthetic version of the entire index in a single solution.
Which is so interesting because that was probably the most relatable use case that I've heard, trying to understand and see how this ecosystem works here.
Yes.
What's also interesting, we know with traditional indexes that there's a number of products that get derived off of that as well.
Yes.
Which makes it really exciting once you start building these decentralized indexes, because data begets more products and stuff, and the demand is certainly there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that if we can essentially harness like the different feeds where we could build stuff specifically for crypto people, like total crypto market cap, it's a simple story. Meme indexes, simple story. Everybody's trying to always chase individual memes, but I think as the industry grows, that's going to be a piece of the pie that's always going to exist. So if you could essentially like basket these different memes, or basket AI or DeFi, and use the Chainlink feeds to power it, where you're not only getting the ability to create these products, but the security of Chainlink to verify the prices. The users are safe, there's zero intermediaries, it's completely open sourced, and people have the ability to use them as they see fit.
So what's next for Cryptex?
So what's next for us is using the data streams to now create a equivalent of like a DAO 30, where it's the top 30 crypto projects, or the top 100. So we're actively working with the devs over at Chainlink to build that, planning to launch it in Q4, and we're really, really excited on it.
That is exciting. I think it will also help people to understand the industry better as well. When you start to, so how do you conceptualize these projects? So when you see them within an index, it's something familiar to someone like myself who has the TradFi background.
Absolutely,
so
and Jill, exciting. I think the way that we win as a sector is by building these types of tools with UI and UX that's so seamless that nobody even knows that the blockchain is up under the hood.
And that's what we're talking about this year more than ever is UX, right?
And I think
that's like it shows that it's maturing.
It has to be done.
All right, appreciate the insight, Joe. Thanks for joining us on TradeTalks. And thanks for joining me at SmartCon. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.